Yeah, it was a unique experience in that so many times we've always been reading the Book of Mormon as a family, and so forth. But actually during the summer of 2006, I actually got into the Word and started reading the Word. And it wasn't Micah's testimony that affected me, it was the words in the Bible. And again, as I mentioned earlier, when I read Luke chapter 18, and I read about Christ said two men went up to the temple, one a Pharisee, one a publican. And the Pharisee said, I thank God I'm not as other men, that I'm not an adulterer, unjust, or even as this publican. I fast weekly, twice a week. I give all that I have in tithes. And the publican came up and said to the temple, smote his breast, bowed his head, wouldn't even look up. He said, I'm a sinner. He cried out to God for help. I can't do it on my own. And when I read that and really started understanding that I cannot do it on my own, that I am a sinner, that I had to humble myself, because Christ said, for those that this man, this publican, came justified before him, where he said that the publican, the Pharisee came who was not humbling himself, but he said, for those who humble themselves will be exalted, but the Pharisee who exalted himself will be humbled. And I was the Pharisee. I was the one doing all these righteous acts. I was going to the temple. I was a high priest. I was doing everything I was supposed to do to get to live with Heavenly Father in the celestial kingdom. And God showed me my sins, and he humbled me and said, you can't do it on your own. You don't even think about doing it on your own. You have to come through me.
What happened for you, Lynn?
Christ became real, someone who loved me. And I was just blown away by the fact that he loved me so much that he died for me. Micah then eventually talked to one of his other brothers who called him up and said, what are you doing to the family, I guess. He came to Christ. And then his sister came to Christ. This whole family has come out of Mormonism. There isn't a family that was more pharisaical than we were, do you think?
No.
God broke us, brought us to a place where we were broken so that we needed him. And he is worth this journey. Everything that we thought was important at one time is no longer important. Money, education, appearances, none of that matters anymore. All that matters to us is to preach Christ. And like I said before, we'll do that till the day we die.
30 seconds left. What would you like to say?
My challenge to the Mormons that would be watching is to read the New Testament, see who Jesus is, see who God is, see what the atonement is. See yourself, as Mike said, as the publican, not as the Pharisee. We have nothing to bring to the table but to beg God for forgiveness. And for the Christian, to understand that when those young boys come to your door, they sincerely believe what they're preaching. They don't understand probably all of Mormon doctrine. Your kindness to them, your challenge to them to read the New Testament could be the start of their journey to Christ. So when we see them at the door, we need to remember this is someone Christ died for. They don't know the deception they're in. We need to reach out with a heart of love to these people.